In the midst of the American Revolution, a political activist named Thomas Paine wrote a letter to the American people to help encourage them during these trying times. He wanted to get the people, especially the Tories, to support the war effort and to potentially join in the fight. This letter was so inspiring and so well written that President George Washington read it to his troops before they crossed the Delaware River. Not only did he want to inspire the American people, he also had another goal in mind when writing this letter. He wanted to change the minds of the Tories, who were a group of people who supported staying with Britain, to change their point of view. In this video, we are going to discuss the 7th paragraph in this letter and explain what it is saying and identify its rhetorical strategies.
The speaker is Thomas Paine, and the audience is the American people and troops. The context of Thomas Paine's work is when the Continental Army suffered multiple drawbacks to the British in New York. Many soldiers reached the end of their enlisted period, morale was lowered, and the cold weather of New York slowed the arrival of supplies. The purpose of Paine's work when it was read to the troops and the American people is to inspire and fire up and boost the morale. The message is that it is the Tories' fault for the war and Howe is the greatest enemy to America.
In the 7th passage, Paine blames the war solely on the Tories and that there should be a need for force. He states, "Wisdom is not the purchase of a day, and it is no wonder that we should err at the first setting off from an excess of tenderness. We were unwilling to raise an army and trusted our cause to the temporary defense of a well-meaning militia." Paine emphasizes the demand for force throughout this passage, saying that they won't stay silent towards Britain and will encourage people to fight. Adding on to this, Paine insists that the Tories are at fault for starting the war and that they're on the wrong side, admitting that the real enemy is Howe. By saying this, Paine hopes to convert the Tories and unite them with the Whigs. Lastly, Paine mentions that they are winning the war so that he can encourage the Americans to keep fighting.
First, Paine uses ethos to try and unite the Tories and Whigs. He states, "I consider Howe as the greatest enemy the Tories have. He is bringing a war into their country." Paine's idea of shifting the blame to Howe is an attempt to make the Tories question their loyalty to the British. Questioning Britain's loyalty with the presented unfair living conditions and Britain's entire responsibility for the war is a way to have the Tories question their motives. Having the Tories question Howe is an attempt to unite the Tories and Whigs. Having them all identify Britain as the enemy will support our war effort. It will be easier to make political decisions and easier to support our troops with our combined efforts. Next, Paine uses logos to make America seem superior to Britain. He states, "Should he fail on this side of the Delaware, he is ruined. If he succeeds, our cause is not ruined." Paine is using America's advantage over the war to boast about America's superiority over Britain, showing the Whigs and Tories that our war power is stronger and that our cause will win. Boasting about ourselves is a way to push Tories over to support America's war effort and making them question Britain's true power. Pushing the Tories to unite and be supportive with the Whigs will help our war effort through loyal patriotism and supportive efforts.
Although Paine may have written this with bias toward his own viewpoint, he had good intentions with the letter. He wanted to bring America, Tories and Whigs alike, together to defeat their true enemy, the evil tyranny of King George III.